Hello, Flosstube. Welcome to my channel. Today is Sunday, July 3rd, 2022. My name is Heather. I'm the 20-minute stitcher. Thank you so much for coming and spending some of your day with me. For those of you who are new to my channel, my format is 20-ish, 20, 21, 22-minute videos, sometimes shorter. That's why I call myself the 20-minute stitcher. That, and as a busy single parent, I typically only have, say, 20 to 30 minutes in a day to cross stitch. A little bit more in the summer. I'm finding my kids are not quite as busy, but you can still get a lot done even if you only have 20 minutes a day. That's kind of what my channel is all about. So if you are new here, welcome. I hope you will like what you see. I hope you will choose to come back, subscribe and ring that bell and come back frequently and often and comment and join our little community here. For those of you who have been with me for a while, welcome back. Always nice to see you all in my Flosstube. So this is my first Flosstube in July. So I'll do a recap of June. Well, short recap because June had StitchCon and I recorded like a gajillion videos about StitchCon. So stitchy recap of June and show what I have done so far in July and talk about my July plans. I have a little bit of haul as well and want to give a shout out to a newer Flosstuber who I am just absolutely enjoying to no end. And if you haven't found her yet, definitely want to be sure you check her out. So stay tuned for that as well. All right, let's jump in. So June was, my focus project for June was the Pride Stitch Along, the Modern Folk Embroidery Pride Stitch Along. I worked on other things in June, but I showed all of those in my sort of stitchy recap of StitchCon, and I have not stitched anything but the Modern Folk Embroidery piece since StitchCon. So that's the only June piece I'm going to show today because you've seen. Hold, please. I don't have it here. All right, I'm back. I grabbed the wrong project bag. So I think I've mentioned before, my mom does stamping, card making, and gets a lot of things from Simon Says Stamp. And they send a lot of their kits in really nice bags. And she doesn't need all of them, so she frequently gives them to me. And so I have two with very similar colors, and I grabbed the wrong one, which is fine. I need to show that one too. All right, so back to business. So as I said, after StitchCon, the only piece I worked on was the Modern Folk Embroidery Pride Stitch Along. So this is the pattern. I am doing the full color version. He also released a single color, a monochromatic version of the pattern. But I am stitching the full color one. And this, so I started this on June 1st or June 2nd. So I started, here's where I started, a blank piece of fabric. And here's where I ended the month. So I got, let's see, what did I write down? I put it on my Instagram. I guess I do have my old planner here. Sorry, here I was thinking I was so organized, and I am not. So my June focus, so for the Modern Folk Embroidery, I got 1,396 stitches completed on it for 14.2% of the pattern done. And I have just over 9,800 stitches left. So I was hoping to get a page finish. I didn't. This is still the first page, but I'm so enjoying, this is so much fun to stitch on. I always sort of shied away from sort of these sampler Quaker style patterns because I felt like all the color changes would make me crazy. And they do a little bit, but there's also enough solid blocks and that's more like it. There are also enough solid blocks in this that when I'm not feeling the color changes, I can move to a part of the pattern like the stems or obviously the center motif where I can just kind of sit and zone out on stitching a bunch of the same color. So this is where I stopped in June on this piece. It's not going to go away for very long. It is going to go away for the month of July because I have other plans for July that I will share later. But I'm having so much fun stitching on this. I almost certainly will pick it back up in August and figure out a way to put it in my rotation for August. So that is where I ended June with the Modern Folk Embroidery Pride Stitch Along. So much fun to stitch. Okay. And speaking of June, I think I shared a little bit that I had purchased a new planner in June, and their monthly spread I have been using to keep track of all my stitching. Now, I know my planner isn't as pretty as some people's planners. I don't really go into the stickers or the pretty fonts, but I just thought I would share this is what my June calendar ended up looking like. So I write my focus piece here. This is where I keep track of every pattern that I stitch on. If it has an X next to it, that means I finished it in that month. This only has space for 4, so I kind of this one ended up being sort of the first 4 patterns I stitched on in June, got to go here. And this I'm just using as sort of a quick how many days or what days did I stitch on this? And then obviously in the month itself, I'm writing everything I stitch on in a given day. And then over here, I keep track of my floss tubes. So I just thought I'd share that too for folks interested in sort of how I keep track of my stitching and what I'm working on. So that was my June. Moving into July, I am doing Jolly July, Christmas in July, whatever you want to call it. I guess Jolly July. So I know in my last video, I asked your opinion on 2 different Christmas patterns to start. Got all kinds of different options and comments, and really appreciate all of you chiming in. Truth is, and as you'll see why in a minute, I'm probably going to end up working on both of them, because I did on July 1st start the Lizzie Kate Christmas Is, primarily because I already had it all kitted up. Like I had the floss and everything. The Little House Needleworks one, I'd have to go get the floss. So this is in my Tammy Blaylock, my Creative Country Girl bag that I got at StitchCon. And this is the pattern, Lizzie Kate Christmas Is. So as you can see, this is one that I'll stitch up fairly quickly because it's mostly words and even the little motifs aren't very large. So I am stitching this on a Bestitch Me fabric. You know, I'm part of the Bestitch Me Fabric of the Month Club, so almost all of my fabric now is Bestitch Me. I am stitching this on, I'm part of the 32 Count Lugana Club. The color is Coconut Shell. And this is my progress so far. So as you can see, now I have spent a lot of time this weekend stitching. My kids are with their dad until later today. So I've had a lot of time this weekend to stitch. So I obviously got Family, Hope, and Friends done, one little star, and then the holly motif is done as well. So, I would say I'm probably already like a third of the way. Maybe a quarter of the way done with this pattern. So this was a new start on Friday. I stitched on this quite a bit on Friday, a lot yesterday. Haven't picked it up today yet, but that was my start on the Lizzie Kate Christmas Is. But as you can see, I will probably finish this with a fair number of days in July left. So I will probably at that point, or when I'm getting close to it, go to my LNS and go kit up the Little House Needleworks Jingle All the Way and get started on that as well. And then even though I'm focusing on Jolly July, there are 3 other patterns that I am going to work on this month. One is because Monday is July 4th, I did want to start a July 4th themed pattern, even though I'm a little less independent than I used to be. I am still independent enough to be able to voice my disapproval of the Supreme Court's actions lately, and that is worth celebrating. I don't live in a country where I can have my rights taken away and I have to be quiet about it. So at first I was like, I don't have anything to celebrate on Independence Day this year, but then I realized, yes, I do, because at least I live in a country where I can stand up and be loud about how unhappy I am with the way certain things are going. So digression, back to topic. So the patriotic 4th of July themed pattern I chose to start is Firework Kisses by Primrose Cottage Stitches. This is one of the patterns I picked up at StitchCon. My hair was in a ponytail and I just noticed I've got a weird little wave in my hair. Sorry, squirrel. I'm easily distracted today, apparently. So I got started on this pattern just this morning. So any other floss tubers out there, do any of you do this? Like, I thought about recording later in the day so I would have more time to get more work done on this pattern. So I would have more to show. Do any of you like say, oh, I'm going to record later so I can work on this more? But I really don't have time later to record. This is kind of my best opportunity. So you get what you get. This was my start this morning. And I started today rather than tomorrow because I wasn't sure what we're doing tomorrow. Sounds like now we're not really planning to do much of anything at all, except have a cookout with my parents. So I'll probably have lots of time to stitch tomorrow, but we had been talking about like going on a hike or going to see a movie. And so I wasn't sure I was going to have much time to stitch actually on the 4th of July. So I decided to start on July 4th Eve. So start today. So that's as far as I got. The word and sort of the start of the little motif here next to and then this is a little bundle of firecrackers there. So, and I am stitching this on the color Cinnamon, also obviously by, well, probably not obviously, but not surprisingly to you, by Stitch Me, 32 count Lagana, 2/2, all the called for, both of those patterns. I'm using all of the called for colors. Sorry, cat hair in my eye or something. Cat hair everywhere. So I'm going to stitch on that today and tomorrow, and then I'll get done what I get done. I probably won't stitch on it again. Maybe I'll stitch on it again for Labor Day. We'll see. But that's going to be just a today and tomorrow stitch, and then I'll be back to my Jolly July for the most part, with the exception of 2 other patterns that I am putting in my July rotation. So I am part of a cross-stitch chat, a group chat, and that chat every month has a monthly theme as well. And the theme for July there is Summer Lovin'. And sort of what that means is we are all encouraged to pull out our oldest whip and give it some love this month. So I had to think for a second, like, ooh, what's my oldest whip? And then I realized, oh my goodness, I think my oldest whip now, because I did get quite a few done last year, I think my oldest whip now was sort of my first foray when I first joined the group chat and sort of had my eyes opened as to just how wide the world of cross stitch had become. There is a gentleman who he sort of periodically designs things, puts them up on his website, buy him a coffee for it. But he had started a Magic Kingdom stitch along, and it was a mystery stitch along. And so I don't have a picture of the finished piece. But he started it in January of 2021, and he released one piece of it. It was a 12-part stitch along, and he released one piece each month. I got January stitched, and I started February, and then other shiny things distracted me, and this got put away, and I hadn't picked it up since then. So I am getting this out, and I'm going to work on it in July. I have to figure out where it's going to fit in my rotation. But the finished project, so basically he took iconic scenes from a whole variety, iconic scenes or iconic characters from 12 different Disney animated movies, and put them in a design that when it's all done, you discover, comes out in the shape of Cinderella's castle, which is pretty cool and pretty awesome. So I am a little motivated to finish this because I did see on his website a picture of the finished product or a mock-up of the finished product, and it is pretty cool. So this is where I'm at. I did Ariel, so the first release was The Little Mermaid, and this is pretty much, I think, kind of the center of the castle. Not that you can tell that, right, from this first pattern. And then, as you can see, I started February down below Ariel. February was Alice in Wonderland, so this is the tea party, one of the tea party scenes with Alice there. So that's as far as I got. So I have to figure out when I'm going to work on this, because obviously my focus is going to be split between Jolly July and this. So I think I might just alternate days, unless, for some reason I'm not feeling it right. But I think I'm just going to alternate days. So today and tomorrow is Firework Kisses, but then I think, today and tomorrow is Firework Kisses. Tomorrow will be one other that I'm going to get to in just a moment. And then I think the then when I go back to, once Firework Kisses is over, that I think I'm just going to alternate. I'll work on Jolly July one day, and then I'll work on Magic Kingdom Stitch Along the other, and then that way I'm attacking sort of both of my themes for the month. But I also don't want to have my really awesome Tiny Modernist When Witches Go Riding pattern languish for too long, especially after I spent all that time gridding the fabric. I love that it's gridded. I did not like the process of gridding. So I wanted to work on this in July as well. So again, trying to figure out what my rotation is going to be. Here's what I'm going to do for this. I'm going to stitch on this on July 10th and on July 31st, right, for 10 and 31. Also going to stitch on it on the 13th, just because, 13, spooky, whatever. But Halloween this year is on a Monday. So every Monday in July, I'm going to work on this as well, which is why I said tomorrow I'm going to work on Firework Kisses because it's July 4th, but I'm also going to pick up When Witches Go Riding as well. Because by the time I got this gridded, I actually didn't get a whole lot of stitching done on it. I haven't touched this since the last time I showed it, but just to refresh your memory, this is what I have done on it so far. So my focus in July is Jolly July, but I'm also going to be, it's sort of I'm just saying that's my focus. My focus is actually Jolly July, the Summer 11, and then also throwing in a smattering of my When Witches Go Riding. So today and tomorrow I'll be doing Firework Kisses. Then and tomorrow I'll also work on When Witches Go Riding, since it's Monday. Then beginning on Tuesday I'll go back to my Lizzie Cake Christmas Is. Wednesday I'll do Magic Kingdom, and I'll just alternate. And then on the 10th, the 31st, the 13th, and every Monday, I'll throw in a little bit of time spent on this as well. Or depending on how busy I am, this will be the pattern I work on. If I have time to work on both, then great. Hopefully that all made sense. Hopefully it all makes sense to me, and I remember to do it. So those are my July plans. Kind of a little bit of everything, but sort of on motif, on topic for a couple of different things. The last two things I wanted to give, I mentioned at the beginning of the video, a shout out to a newer Flosstube who I've discovered now. I think she's only recorded 4 videos so far, and she exploded. So she doesn't need the shout out from me. She's already over 1,500 subscribers. But if you have not seen her yet, Brijin, the Museum Stitcher, she's delightful. Her patterns are beautiful. She's an experienced sewer crafter, but new to cross stitch, and her stitching is beautiful and her videos are delightful. So if you have not found her yet or stumbled upon her yet, I really encourage you to go check her out, because I absolutely adore watching her videos. And Brijin, if you happen to be watching, Halloween Quaker. I wasn't kidding, so hopefully you weren't either. All right, last thing for today's video, a little bit of haul. So I got my, I forgot to take it out of the plastic, sorry. I got my Fabric of the Month from Bestitch Me. And as I've said before, I subscribe to her, I forget exactly what she calls it, but when you subscribe, you can subscribe to her Neutrals Club, you can subscribe to her Colors Club, or you can alternate months. So I alternate months. So one month I'll get a more neutral color, and then the next month I'll get her color. This was a color month. So this was the Fabric of the Month for July. And it is called My Sunshine, and it's actually picking up fairly true to color, it looks like. It is a very bright, vibrant yellow. I'm really excited about this. I have no idea what I'm going to stitch on it, but I feel like it could be great for summer. It could be great for Halloween. It's got really nice orange modeling, so it could be a great Halloween fabric as well. I just feel like this is going to be a really versatile fabric. So that was one piece of haul that I got. And then, or haul, happy mail, whatever you want to call it. So, and then the other thing I got, which I'm very excited about, when I was at StitchCon, my table mates and I got talking about various mystery boxes, right? And this is sort of a new thing to me. I'm like, well, I don't know. And I've always been a little hesitant about mystery boxes because I'm like, well, what if I get something I don't like, right? So, especially when it's only sort of a pattern, and I'm like, what if it's a pattern I don't like? Then I spent all this money on something I don't like. But they were talking about mystery boxes they really like. And it came out very quickly that I am a planner, pen, kind of notebook nerd. And I was suggested or recommended a small company, fairly new, called Needle and Note, who does mystery boxes, I think, quarterly. And so I checked them out after StitchCon was over, and they recently had a dragon one that still had some boxes available. So I ordered it and thought I would share it with you. So it comes in this lovely little box with their logo, Needle and Note. They ship from Los Angeles, California. And this was, I think, called Cherry Blossom Dragon. And I sort of repackaged it a little bit because I just thought it was so pretty the way it was packaged. So it came just lovely wrapped in this tissue paper with this sticker. And then inside the kit was a whole bunch of stuff. So again, all of her boxes are a mix of cross stitch and stationery. So I got a mild liner, 2 really nice Stabilo pens, which now don't have to go back in the box now that I'm showing them. A very cute dragon in a teacup cherry blossom sticker, clearly designed for this. So that's going to go in my planner now. Okay, there also was a box of sour watermelon Mike and Ike's that I gave to my daughter. But then also Japanese Kit Kat. I mean, I guess when you live in LA, you can get like all kinds of stuff. But like Japanese Kit Kat, I've been waiting to eat these, but I wanted to show them because they were super cool. I mean, it's literally, and it has little cherry blossoms on the wrapper. I wish I knew what it said in Japanese. I just know it's Japanese, but that's way cool. Then there also was this really pretty silk hand-dyed floss from the Thread Gatherer, who I've never heard of before. But it's a very pretty variegated pink floss. So I'll have to find something fun to stitch with that because it is actually not a called for floss in the pattern. But then I did get all the floss already divided and separated and nicely put on a card for the pattern that's included, plus a couple extra skeins of floss, 760 and 762. A pack of needles, which I'm like, wow, that's nice, a whole pack. They also include a card that has information on all of the purveyors of the goods that are included in the box so that you can support them even after the box. Very pretty stickers. Those will be going in my planner for sure. This beautiful little pencil bag or whatever you want to use it for, but again, very on theme with the cherry blossom flowers. And then the pattern and the fabric. So the pattern, and you were able to choose whether you wanted Aida or linen. I think it was just the 2 choices. I don't think there was a whole lot of fabric choice variety, but the pattern came from Ingleside Imaginarium, and it's called Spring Dragon. Isn't it gorgeous? I love it so much. So I don't think that this will be sitting for too long before entering my rotation. I think I'm actually going to start this in September, which is my birth month, and I was born in the year of the dragon, which is one reason why I love dragons. So I think this might be a September start for me. But that's the pattern, and then it came with this beautiful, hopefully the color will pick up. It's washing out a little bit. But it is it's a much more vibrant, kind of a lime green almost. Not very dark, it's light, but it is bright, like it borders on neon, but not garish neon. It's a very, very beautiful color of lime green. And I chose the linen. Yeah, it's a Belfast linen 32 count. Your options were 14 count Aida or the 32 count Belfast linen. It's just from Zweigart in the color of lime. So that I was very excited about this box. It was only $65. I feel like it was a great value for what was included, especially since it included the fabric and all the floss. So Needle and Note, if you have not, I will link them in the description if you have not seen them before, heard of them before. The next box coming out, I believe it ships in October, is a lunar moth themed box. I'm not big into moths, so I didn't get that because I was saving my money. I just ordered if anyone follows Abby Sue Designs on Facebook or Etsy, she is the designer of that Cats of Disney stitch along that I also am working on. Theoretically, I started and it's on vacation right now. She is releasing a Haunted Mansion stitch along, and she did a mystery box along with it. The Haunted Mansion is my daughter's most favorite ride at Disney World. October is her birthday, and she is turning 16 this year. So it just seemed like it was meant to be that this Haunted Mansion box was shipping in September, with the stitch along itself being released the 4 weeks in October. So I got it for my daughter. Now she's not going to get everything in the box. She's not going to want everything in the box, but I'm going to stitch the pattern for her, and we'll maybe divide up what's in the box. But I got that for her birthday. So I just spent that money, but I won't get the goodies until September. But you better believe I'll share them when I do. All right, this video ran a little longer than usual, but as always, I appreciate you spending some time with me today. I hope you enjoyed. Would love to hear from you. Any plans you have for the summer, anything that you want to know, anything you want to share. I feel like I need to do better about sort of like inviting conversation. I know I'm behind on responding to comments from my last couple of videos. I will be responding. I promise I'm not ignoring you. But anywho's, I hope you all have, those of you who are celebrating the 4th of July, I hope you have a wonderful and safe holiday. For the rest of you, hug your loved ones. Happy stitching. Take care of yourselves and those you love. And I will see you soon. Bye.